Hi, welcome to B'nai Israel. Come on in. I'm very involved with my congregation. B'nai Israel has been a safe haven for me throughout the last 13 years. It's a warm, welcoming community. It's kind of like that Cheers thing when you come into the bar and everybody knows your name. It's, I belong here, and I love that feeling. I grew up in a very non-religious, more cultural Jewish background. When my daughter was about 5, I realized if she's going to be brought up Jewish, I need to belong to a congregation and I need to learn more about Judaism. All right. When I was literally 4 or 5 years old, I can remember vividly feeling very different from other kids and wanting desperately to be a boy. And the way that I took that out was on my brother, because I felt like he really didn't deserve to be a boy because he didn't appreciate the fact that he was so lucky to be a boy. This poor guy had no idea why his sister hated him so badly, but I remember distinctly having a picture taken when he was even just a newborn, and I would not touch him. Like, I sat with my hands on either side of me, and they had to put the baby there, balanced desperately, very precariously, because I would not touch him. And I was 3.5 years old, and I knew at that point he was something that I wanted to be, and I couldn't be. So then growing up...
The inspiration for this project actually began a long time ago. I was sitting in my congregation listening to a performance by Julie Silver, amazing Jewish musician, and Julie was bringing her entire heart and soul to the music that she's sharing with us. And another part that she was very open about was being in a loving, committed relationship with a woman. Seeing it in Julie, it really struck me that there was indeed space for me to show up in Jewish space as authentically me.
If we're dealing with relationships, if we're dealing with trying to be as responsive to individuals who you care about, then it's easy. It's when you start thinking about...
And now, more recently, as a parent of a kid who's trans and being in close connection with other families whose kids are transitioning, I look around and I'm not seeing resources that I can offer. And so from that, started thinking about, well, there are people who are already on this path, who are already in Jewish spaces. Maybe it's an issue of helping folks who are trans and Jewish tell their story in a way that our younger people can see, oh, there is definitely a place for me. It's going to be okay.
One of the highlights, if you're going to call it a highlight, in my transition was when I finally came out on Facebook telling friends I've changed my gender and my name to Jake. Walking into the temple, every single person said, "Hey, Jake."
I've been aware of the process for Jake for a while, but I wasn't quite sure when he was going to become public.
He called me by name, said, "Jacob, would you come and carry the Torah?" And it was huge.
Jake was there, and it just sort of was a no-brainer for me to sort of say, Jake, would you come and carry the scroll for us this morning? I hope it was a way to sort of say to him, you're who you are, and we love you. I mean, we loved you when you were Val, and we love you now that you're Jake, and we want to be as supportive as we can.
I couldn't consciously come out and say that I was trans for all those years because I'm a list maker, and I would go to that, oh my God, if I say that I'm transgender, then I have to do this and this and this, and what about work, and oh my God, I have to tell my parents, and I have to tell my friends, and it became so overwhelming. I'd say, okay, you know what, you're good, you can be with women just as you are, and just let it be, you're fine. And then it got to a point where I couldn't, and I wasn't fine, and I needed to be who I really am. Even at the age of 58, when people go, you know, what do you got, maybe another 20 years? Yeah, even if it's a year, I want it to be as I am and who I should be.
My hope is that by hearing stories, by falling in love a little bit with the people who are brave enough to tell them on camera and say, this is who I am and this is what I want to tell you about myself, our young people get to see in a very tangible, concrete way oh, there is space here for me, that you get to be all of who you are and you get to stand in your truth, and those relationships and that community that means so much to you is going to be right here with you, as we hope that a community would be for any milestone, for any part of going through life.